All right, guys, we're going to play some games against Katago Micro. This is I always play Katago Micro with 6 handicap. This is some of the most this honestly is some of the most frustrating things. This is honestly some of the most frustrating things you will ever do, because Katago Micro is incredibly efficient at playing anything. And if I play conservatively, if I actually play conservatively, like if I just do this and get territory, I win more games, but I don't learn anything that way. I have to somewhat fight Katago Micro. I have to somewhat fight Katago Micro in order to actually get things out of it. See, like this is setting up for a fight because he double approaches. But that is perfectly fine. I am very used to him doing the 3-3. So that's weird. But anyways, like I have gotten, I know now to curl here instead of take this here. Here, I think I'm just going to do this. And I think I'm going to do this as, oh. Huh. Well, that's a little different then. I think I have to block this way. I don't really know what to do here. I don't really play against, I mean, I play against Kata all the time, but if I do this, I don't want to like go out. If I do this, he comes here, but I don't want him to curl up either. This is a hard choice. Yeah, I was afraid he was going to do that. I could do this and double Hane, but then he gets, I think I want to do this. Oh man, I really, this is the reason I really don't like playing against Katago. I mean, I like playing against it, but God, playing against Katago is so freaking annoying. Because, like, he's so efficient in doing everything. And, like, there's all kinds of weaknesses here. I don't even know what to do with this. I think I have to do this. Okay, now he's going to take the... I'm actually just going to take the corner. I've already lost probably, like, 30% of my advantage here. And somehow he always manages to essentially capture some of the center territory. So we're going to try to prevent that and go up here. Okay, now he's going to try to get me here and surround this territory. I know how Kata plays because I've actually played Kata multiple times now. If I do this, he's going to cut here, so I have to do this. See, like, you just keep on taking, like, disadvantages against Katago until he eventually catches up with you. And generally against Katago, you need to connect all your groups. Otherwise, he's going to find some stupid way to kill you. Trust me, I've played against him many, many times, and he always finds some stupid way to kill you if you don't connect your groups. Oh my gosh, I hate this. Playing against the AI is so annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Ugh. Man, he's like breaks so much of your territory. This is like honestly some of the most annoying... Like, the thing is, like, when you learn with Katago Micro, you have to understand that you can never play at his level. Like, when you watch me play against, like, lower ranked players, you know that my level is very, very much achievable. But when you're watching Kata play, you have to understand that his level is not achievable by mere mortals like us. So you try to get as much as you can out of it. You definitely try to get as much as you can out of it. But you have to understand that we're never really going to be able to play like him. If I do this, I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to. I could roll back and do this and let him take the one stone up top, but I feel like I'm giving away so much if I do that. On the other hand, if I do this, he goes... if I Atari here and he goes here, then I'm giving away Well, I guess that doesn't work, but ugh. You know, I want to connect here just because he's Katago Micro, but I'm going to see what this leads to because I don't think he can threaten my group over here. And this is pretty much alive, so I'm going to do this. Okay, he does that first. I am like absolutely certain that he's just playing some Aji over here so we can actually do this later. So I'm going to go up here right now and then I'm going to connect. I don't mind him making some territory over here because that's not really that big. I just want to secure my territory. Yeah, so he takes all the Senteis here. And it's probably like, it's really annoying because you see like how Kata like eloquent, you see how he makes like this territory here? Like this is how Kata essentially plays all the time. Like when I play against like lower ranked players, when I play against lower ranked players and they do this, they don't really know what they're actually doing. So like they don't actually end up making a lot of territory. But when you play against Kata, like Kata knows what it's doing. So like he always ends up he essentially always ends up actually like making some territory. Now, luckily for me, this isn't too big here. But you can see like, oh God. Like luckily for me, this isn't too big here, but this is how Kata eventually makes so much territory on the center. Now, there's some pretty big plays here to be made. I think this play is probably pretty big right now. But those plays over there are also really, really big. This is pretty big as well. So I'm going to take this. Is that big enough? I think it probably is. If I wasn't playing against a perfect freaking AI, I could actually do something. I'm going to take some Senteis. Really? Okay, do I do it this way or the other way? Because if I do it this way, yeah, that cornerstone is bigger. I should have known. I'm going to go ahead and do this. You got to take all the Senteis you can against Katago Micro. I don't know, do I do this way? And ram in here for all these points, or do I just take the 2 points? I think I'm going to do this. Oh, okay, he doesn't even bother. Okay, if I do that, I know he's going to do this. He's going to fight the Ko with me, so I'm just going to retreat 1. Oh, this is annoying. Like, Kata is like way too freaking efficient. And he's actually making a lot of territory in here as well. I can't Hane because I know he's going to cut. I played against this AI enough to know what he's actually going to do. Extend down, right? But he doesn't have enough liberties here. I think this is the bigger move right now. Okay, I'm going to connect and not do this because if I do this, that's Sente. So I'm going to do this. If I jump down, that doesn't really do anything for me, though, is the thing. There's not much territory for me here because there's that. I think this might actually be the biggest move right now. I could do this, but let's do this. That's pretty big. This is also fairly big, but maybe not as big as that. He has like a lot of points in here, I can see. Take some Senteis from him. And this is going to be pretty large. Wait, what? Is that, oh my God, is that a thing? Is this actually a thing? Oh, no freaking way. Oh, I cannot believe I didn't see that. I can't actually... If I do this... He... Oh, God. Oh, man. I just lost a lot of points here. Ah, crap.
Yoyomi.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, jeez. Gosh. Oh, no, 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 this is fine, this is fine. He just destroys my territory in there. That's actually not such a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and Tiger's Mouth this. He just, like, broke all my freaking territory, man. That's not cool. Broke the bulk of my territory. And this is why Kata can win against me with 6 stones. Like, it's honestly... Like, Kata's level of play is, like, honestly just disgusting. How efficient he is. At basically just destroying me. Like, he doesn't actually... He doesn't, like...
10,
Kata doesn't
9,
actually need any tricks to beat
7.
me. Katago doesn't actually need any tricks to actually beat me. He's like one of those handicap players. He's one of the players that could like legit beat me without like. He's honestly one of those players. One of the ones that can actually legitimately beat me. Eventually, I'm going to screw this up, so I'm going to take this. But he's one of the bots he's the bot that can beat me without actually like resorting to like random ass tricks. I mean, I'm sure he does a lot of random ass tricks here, but the thing is, like, he's strong enough to he's strong enough to not resort on those things and still beat me pretty handily. In that manner. So, and I mess up a lot when I play him. I definitely mess up a whole lot when I play Kata. And he exploits every single one of these mistakes that I actually make. Also, his closing is just so much better than mine. It's disgusting. Do I go for that? It's only 1 point. There's not too many other points here is the thing. But I think I'm going to do this first. I'm actually not sure who's winning right now. Because, like, it's actually a fairly close game. I'm guessing he's going to win by, like, 1.5 points. Because that's what he usually does again. That's what Kata usually does against me. He wins by, like, 1.5 points. It's, like, the most annoying thing ever. Because he can calculate, like, he can actually calculate these things pretty perfectly. I have actually won several games at 6 stones with playing against Kata. But they're all pretty close. I have gotten him to resign, like, once.
Pass. Remove the dead stones.
Yes, I actually won by 6.3 points. That's actually not the accurate count. So we're going to burn a couple more games. I'm not really interested in taking Go lessons. I have like I actually do have like professional level players that will actually play me. I can actually play with for free, if I really want to, my dad being one of them. But I actually won this game of Katago. The thing is, like, these Katago games are just so frustrating. You can actually see, like, how he actually catches up, right? Like, you can definitely see how he actually catches up. That's a losing move, but I don't really know where I would have gone with this exactly. Like, his feel for the game is just so much better than any other player's. Obviously, I'm going to lose a couple points there. Like, him doing these forcing moves is obviously going to result in me, like, losing some points. And this is definitely this is a big point loss for me right now. Because, like, I actually have to use several Sente moves to, like, actually shore this up. So this is how he actually, like, slowly but surely essentially just, like, catches up with me. But the thing is, like, I'm actually a ton more careful playing against Katago than, like, other players, because I know if I make the smallest mistake, he's going to own me. I've lost so many games against Kata doing this. I wouldn't be as conservative playing against other players. That's probably a bad move right there, because there's other moves actually bigger than this right now. So, like, let's actually just do another game.
Game started.
Near Harvey, I don't really, like, do you want me to take lessons from you, or do you want to take lessons from me? I don't really do private lessons. Let's just do another different type of handicap. I think this is I'm just going to play 2 games Burning today, because it's really annoying playing more games against Katago. It really is. And I don't like it that much. I'm going to just do the center moves and force him to invade. He's going to try to get the center. I know that, because this is what he always does. I'm actually just going to Hane up. One of the... dang it. Oh man, he's like so random in his he's so random in his actual plays. I mean, he's not really random, I guess. But oh geez. Like, this is how he actually starts building the center. And you're gonna have to break the center sometime. Because if you don't break the center, he's gonna make like a lot of territory in the center. Now, So Kata always does this, and the thing is, like, you have to be aware that he's, like, doing this, but even if you're aware that he's doing this, you may not actually be able to stop it, because, like, his shape making is just so superior to his shape making is superior to pretty much any pro player that I've ever played. Like, it legit is, like, way better than any 9-dan pro I've ever played. Oh, this is frustrating, man. I don't actually know what to do against him. I have to Hane that. I think I'm going to connect this up here. Oh, it's giving him so many points. Oh, just like, if I try to do any kind of, like, fighting style game, he's eventually just going to beat me. But, you know, what are you going to do exactly, right? Like, you have to solidify as much territory as possible. You have to solidify as much territory as possible. So you kind of just have to go with this. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of go with this right now. But you gotta break some of his influence in the middle. I know, like, this is extremely tempting right now, but I think this is gonna be like, if you just, like, do one of these moves, it's gonna be the better move. I'm gonna do this. He does that over there, and I'm just gonna connect to this one. Like, usually, I think I usually against another player, I actually wouldn't do that. Yeah, he just like randomly plays in different places. It's actually really annoying. I'm gonna do this first. I think like it's just kind of a matter of like not losing that many points when I play against this AI. What do I do now though? I think this. He is obviously wanting to approach this corner here, so we're going to Hane this. I don't really know what he's trying to do there. That's actually not that big, and he actually wouldn't play that, I don't think. So I'm going to do that first. And I'm going to come here. Katago's an AI. He's a really strong AI player. Having played against both pros and this AI, I can say that like this AI is actually stronger than almost any pro I've actually played. The moves in Katago are just so the moves he does are just way too efficient for like humans to actually replicate. Like I don't think humans can be successful at replicating Kata's moves. Of course, like because I know he's really good at fighting, I'm actually being very careful, and so this isn't the like against a human player. This is not the way I would regularly play. Against a human player, I would be much more aggressive, but I've tried that many times with Katago, and I just end up losing. So that's why I'm not quite as aggressive as I usually am in players. I know some like some 4 or 5 Qs have actually won even games with Kata, and I'm not really sure how they do that because I can't do that for like the life of me. There's no way he can live in here. Can he? Did he just live in here? Oh wait, I can do this. He can't actually cut. It's fine. Yeah, like this is like one of those things that you would actually miss. Like you would connect here and well, even at this, like he wouldn't be able to, I guess he wouldn't really be able to do that. So that's fine. You could actually do this, but I don't think it's big enough right now. I actually don't know what's big right now. If I do this, I can almost guarantee he's going to cut. So I'm going to go down here. So I have to play scared against the AI, and I actually really hate playing scared. But it's just like something you got to do when you play against the AI, because the AI is just so much better. Like even against pro players, like legitimately even against pro players, I usually just wouldn't play this way because it's playing too scared. But against the AI, I really don't have that much choice. I don't play as passively as I used to against Kata, but like either way, I mean, he's a little too strong for me to be like super aggressive. I think this is the biggest thing now. That's not that relevant. How do I kill this? I don't think I can, right? Just go straight down? No, but then he kills me. Oh, he does that. I can do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. Plays that. Very good. Tries to get a little bit of territory there. I think he's actually made that. Okay. Just going to take a couple of centes. Yeah, I mean, like, when you first start, it's like chess. Like, when you first start, going up in ranks is pretty easy. It's like, I think, like, it's after you've been playing for a while that, like, progress just seems really slow. Because, like, as you actually get better, it becomes harder to rank up. This actually becomes pretty big, but I think this is actually bigger. A lot of people have a lot of people have a plateau at around the a lot of people actually have a plateau around the 10Q level, but the second plateau is like 5Q, and then the next one's like 1 Dan when you enter the Dan level territory. And yeah, and like without professional training, you probably won't get past like 5 or 6 Dan. That's like where a lot of the That's actually like where a lot of the non-professional players kind of peak at like 5 or 6 Dan. And that's really not a bad thing. Because peaking at 5 or 6 Dan, I mean, you're already like a pretty legit player at that point. Ah, it's bigger.
Byoyomi.
Katago just like has so many of these strategic small advantages in the end. That's how he actually beats me. I did that so he doesn't have the Sente Atari there. Oh, that's bigger. That's also bigger. And his sequencing is a lot less. His sequencing so much more better than mine. I think he made a mistake there. He should have gone there. Just going to go ahead and do this. He's not like Kata's not the strongest bot on the server though. Like JXB bot is actually much strong. Is actually a little bit stronger than Kata. I've beaten them both at 6, but I've actually beaten Kata at 5 before. I've never beaten JXB bot even once on 5. Despite the fact that he like fills in like 10 points of his territory when the game's over. That's useless. That's like a bug in Kata right there.
Pass. Remove the dead stones.
See, he wins by 1.5 points. So I win some at 6, he wins some at 6. That's kind of going to be the thing for today. But like you can see like up here during the review how much he's actually winning or losing. And basically, I'm just like forcing him to actually invade on this. I think like if you were playing against a regular player, and if you were 6 stone handicap, the best play is here or here. It's not here. It's definitely approaching, but approaching like Kata does like weird thing. Kata actually does like really weird things. I mean, not really weird things, like does Josekis, and a lot of times that just doesn't favor you. So if you just play here, like I lost like 1 point, like half a point doing that, right? And he does this, I do this. And like this one isn't like, this is not the best move here. I think like regular playing wise, I would definitely do something like this. But I just want to solidify my, playing against like an almost perfect player, I just wanted to solidify my corner. So The thing is, if you play even games, you don't want to play like this. But if you're in a tournament and you're playing handicap games, playing like this is perfectly fine, because you're starting out with like a 70-point advantage on a 6-stone game. So it's white's initiative to actually gain 60 points on you. And just securing your territory and make sure you don't have any mistakes, it makes it really, really hard for white to actually win. I mean, Kata's kind of like perfect in his play, so he can always capture. He can always. So a lot of times he can overtake me in the end. But like normal players wouldn't be able to do this. I mean, like he's trying to form his center moyo here. That's what he's actually trying to do. This move, like I have trouble answering. Like I think this is the best move for it, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that was. I think it's to threaten this. If he did this, like right now, it wouldn't work. But like, I think it's to threaten this for later. So he does that. I'm going to Hane up here. He does this. I'm just going to fix this issue. But see, like my advantage is starting to go down because I have to like be careful to not leave any openings. And then it frees up his Tanuki moves to do other things like this. Obviously, like the value of something like this is going to be greater than the value of something like this. But if I hadn't done that and I had done this instead, then he would actually I can't do that. But I mean, like he would sort of be in like attacking position to maybe like threaten my 2 stones or something. Even if I do this, like you can just do that. This is actually not too bad, but like. The thing is, like, if you play kata and if you play like a handicap game and you get into a fight with a much stronger player, you're pretty much always going to be on the losing side. If you play like a handicap game and you get in a fight with a stronger player, and that's specifically true with Katago Micro, because he's a lot stronger in fighting me. I've tried many times. I've failed like every single time. Like if a Katago starts attacking a weak group that I have, it eventually just dies. So I do that. I want this shape, and I also want to like reduce his chances for attacking my 2 stones in the middle. So he does that. I do that. I do that. He does this. I don't think I should have done this. I probably should have just like went over here or something. Like this might have just been a better move, or maybe like just take off, do something like this, which I eventually did. This is decently big, but since you always have this move here, it may not be all that big. I did that. He goes up, does that. That's obviously a bad move. I guess I shouldn't have connected there, but the thing is, like, if I did this, like, I was afraid of this cut, and then, like, you can see how he's building, like, these big shapes here. That's the thing with Katago Micro. Like, the difference between like Katago Micro and SDK and DDK players is like DDK players will do this, but then they don't actually know how to use this. Katago actually knows how to use this, like even better than the best 9Dan pros. So I was thinking of just kind of like doing this, and just grabbing kind of like grabbing the territory. But then that gives him like such a huge advantage, like making this giant territory in the center, which I actually would find pretty hard to break. I would have to do something like this, and then, like, he could, like, just do forcing moves and, like, cut me off. And plus, like, even if I do go back, like, he can just jump up, and this is, like, really, really huge. So I knew I couldn't do that, because if I did that, I knew that would pretty much be a loss. So I did this. This is a mistake. He does that, and then I basically do this move. That's unnecessary. I definitely should not have taken the time to do this right now. There might be some Aji in the corner though if I don't. There's really not. My liberties aren't really all that tight, so I guess there's not. I definitely should, like, this is a bad move by me. It does allow me to come out here later, but I should have just like flown up here because that would have destroyed his territory overall. So that was a big mistake on my part. That was a big mistake. That would probably cause me to lose the game eventually. Flying out here to destroy this territory. That's actually, this is actually much bigger than this. I do believe this move is actually way bigger than this move. If he does that, I can just crawl. So between these two, this move is bigger. This move is definitely bigger. Yeah, like this is a good blocking move. He can't do this because there's the double Atari there, so he's not going to be able to do that. So yeah, but he's just like he's basically essentially rapidly just destroying my my lead. So I did this because I was afraid that he would clamp, or he would do this first. And then, like he has something like this. He has something like that. And then, like I don't think he can actually live down here right now. I don't think he can actually live down here right now, but I was a little afraid of this. So that's why I did that's why I did this first. That's why I did this. That's why I did this first. Just to kind of solidify the corner. But as you can see, like this move loses points because now he has he gets free moves. He gets like a free move, and these are pretty big moves. So it's not like I made any giant mistakes in this game, but like this is how a better player like little by little takes away your lead in a game. And the thing is, like if you're playing a much stronger player, you do actually need to like play more passive in a tournament. Don't get any like gigantic fights with him because you're probably going to lose, but you have to like solidify your own territory. And most players, I don't think any player is going to be quite as efficient as an AI in basically pecking you away. So it's actually a pretty good rule for playing handicap in tournaments. If you receive a big handicap like 6-7 stones, the way I played here is actually a pretty good blueprint of how you would actually play at 6 or 7 stones, because most likely the player giving you the 6 or 7 stones is not going to be as good as this AI, and he won't be able to gain back nearly as much. So yes, like even in the ending, he was able to gain back the 20 points I was ahead. So I hope this gives you a little bit of insight on how to play like a handicap game. Yeah, I hope this gives you a little bit of insight in how to play a handicap game. I think this would help you in tournaments because, like I said, AIs aren't going to be this good. Players aren't going to be this good, and they're going to have a very hard time actually like deducting 70 points from you. So that's it for right now. Got to go to sleep. I will see you guys later. But hang on, let me just chat with this guy. Yeah, I mean 13K is fine. I mean like in the lower SDKs on OGS, it's kind of like a tenuous thing because like I've seen like big variations. Like if you're actually in the DDK territory or double digit K territory, like you should actually, like if you want to get a real rank, you should actually play in tournaments. That's actually a lot better. But okay, that's going to be the stream for today. So I hope you learned something, and I'll burn more games every once in a while.